welcome first of all to the University of Portland.
Fantastic, good to be here.
And first question, who
Yep.
are you?
Who am I? I am many people. I am Jon Goode. I am Jean Bien. I am Juan Bueno. I am Ion Ban. I am Jonathan Tove.
Now, I know about Juan Bueno because I've been looking at your interviews on YouTube and watching it. It was very interesting trying to figure out, is that Jon Goode talking to himself?
It is.
First of all, is he crazy? Or is this actually like a twin brother?
I'm crazy like a fox. It's a strange kind of genius. Rarely seen. It's like Pinky in the Brain.
One of the things that I really wanted to know, though, trying to find more about you, was how did you get into this whole spoken word business?
I started at a small cafe in Atlanta, Georgia. It's called the Yin Yang Cafe. I was actually dragged there by a friend who I had told I had no interest in hearing any poetry at all. And she forced me to go, and it was the most incredible night of art that I'd ever experienced. And I decided that night I was going to try to write something for the stage. And I went home, sat there for a couple of weeks and really worked on something and wrote a poem and presented it, and it went well. And 10 years later, I'm here with you.
So what was this age? Because I know that you were born in Richmond.
I was born in Richmond, Virginia, yes.
So when did you actually move to Atlanta and start doing this?
I moved to Atlanta in 97.
So 97? You don't want to reveal that age?
We'll
go with 29.
Go with 29.
The importance of spoken word to our culture.
Spoken word in many respects is where it began was in Africa. The griots, they were these keepers of oral history, and so they would pass down orally the stories of the entire tribe. And they'd be griots of various ages. One would be like maybe 10, 20, 30, and they just passed the stories down. That's how they kept the history alive. And so spoken word is actually in that same tradition of a poet, when he does his thing correctly, is really reflecting the stories of himself and of the society on a whole. And where they had one griot that kept the story of an entire tribe, the poets now collectively throughout this whole country actually tell the story of this nation. So we are collectively continuing the tradition of what a griot has classically been.
Right. And I wanted to play like a quick little game. Let's
see. I'm with games.
I want to figure out what's the first thought that comes into mind for like each of the following.
Okay.
So you were talking about our Portland rain. First thoughts.
First thoughts about Portland rain. It's wet and it's gloomy, and I'm sure that it's good for growing things, but it could make you self-harm.
How about current music versus old school?
Current music versus old school. Current music is very actually driven towards money and instant gratification, where old school music had more of a message, and I think people were speaking more really from the heart and what they wanted to say, and not what their record label told them to say.
And a similar question, but let's do it movie-wise.
Movie-wise, actually old school movies and new school movies are very much the same, because all the new movies are really remakes of just the old movies.
Except now we have all these different
CGI and
animations,
things, right?
3D.
Although there's some good ones. I don't know if you saw Beautiful with Javier Bardem, any of these movies.
No.
There's some very good films out there. You gotta hunt for them though.
All right.
How
about current situations, like overall of the world?
Of the world, I think you're seeing right now a time of social upheaval, especially in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. I think that people have really gotten to a point, which it seems like every so often the cycle, will emerge, where people really seek their own independence and freedom. And so the Middle East is it's a powder keg. Really, it's a domino effect. The things happen in Egypt, and then the next thing it's happening in Bahrain, and it's happening in Libya. And it's like one group sees one group, break their shackles of oppression and demand their civil rights and freedom, and they say, well, why not us? And so then there's an uprising here, and it's going to keep going until they finally, everyone, I guess, gets what it is they feel they justly deserve.
How would you describe your life at this moment?
My life at this moment is extremely blessed. You wouldn't believe it. You'd have to be me to really even understand how, from where I'm from to where I'm at, how incredible of a journey it is, and you can't predict it. You don't know what's going to happen. I have a degree in economics and finance, and here I am on your campus reciting poetry. You can never tell where this thing is going to go. It just goes places, and you just got to be, there for the ride. You got to recognize it for what it is, latch on to it, and just enjoy the ride of it, man. I mean, from where I've started to where I've been, opportunities that have opened up. I got a chance to win an Emmy, and I mean, one night I'm having dinner and it's me and Mos Def and Russell Simmons. It's like the craziest things where you're like, I can't believe I'm here right now. I can't believe this is happening to me. It's a beautiful thing. I can't complain at all.
Oh, it sounds like a wonderful tip for college students. And how about, do you have any tips at all for aspiring like writers and poets?
One is you have to tell your truth. You have to be very, very honest with yourself and very, very honest in your writing. Two, it depends on how you approach it. I know some people, especially poets, they have day jobs, and then they really, they start writing poetry and they say, forget it, I'm gonna quit this day job and just be a poet. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend that you do that. You'll find yourself eating a lot of ramen noodles and beanie weenies. You don't want to do that to yourself. I'm a thin man. I can't afford to get any thinner. You got to really work on it and build up the craft and the business side of it to the point where you can sustain yourself before you just bungee and quit your job and then find yourself, somewhere in an unemployment food stamp line trying to figure it all out. So, I say, really, work on it and hone your craft. And once you get to a point where you can actually sustain yourself with your art, then you step out on your own. But don't jump too soon. If you're not ready to fly, you'll crash the ground.
After tonight, how can our students and anyone else in general try to keep contact and try to follow you?
I'm on Facebook. Under my name, Jon Goode, JonGoode. I also have an independent website. It's www.jongoode.webs, which is webs.com. And on there I have poems, like new stuff I'm writing and working on, CDs that I've done, poetry CDs, I have them there as downloads. And I'm also a DJ sometimes. I know it sounds like I have 5 million jobs, which is true. It's true. These are tricky economic times. You got to do everything. I'll be valeting cars after this. But I DJ sometimes, and so I have like mixed CDs that are free. You can just download them and listen to them. They're just on the site. So it's a cool little site.
Well, thank you. And normally talk shows have a band that will play you out. We don't have that on campus,
nice
so I have gotten you a harmonica.
Oh.
It's a brand new one.
There it
is. You can crack it open.
What? This is dope.
If you know how to play harmonica, that would be perfect.
That
if
would
you don't,
be. So this is not going to be perfect at all.
Perfect, because I just got this too. So let's.
All right. All right.
Let's play us out. Now, what other interviewer
excellent.
will give you a harmonica?
You know what? This has never happened to me in my life. I'm going to treasure this. I'm going to bronze it. I'm going to sleep with it. Not like that, though.
Okay.
Not like that.
All right.
Not like that.
All right. Well, welcome to University of Portland, and thank you so much. Thank you, Jon Goode, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.